Great damage. And West Ranch Baseball is on the air. Hi, everyone. Ronnie Wald, along with Randy Rosenbloom. We're here at Wildcat Field in beautiful Stevenson Ranch, California. As for this, the final Foothill League Game of the Year as the Cats face off against the Golden Valley Grizzlies. Starting off right now for Golden Valley, top of the first, Cameron Pfaffman. And on the hill, Cade Nickel. The slider misses outside. It's 1-0. Great to see Cade back out there on Senior Day, where they were able just a few moments ago to celebrate the legendary seniors here at West Ranch High School, the ones that played in the baseball program, the ones that are moving on. Of course, West Ranch already qualified for the playoffs as that pitch is over for a strike, and the count even at 1-1.
Early on, Nickel throwing the ball very well. That great velocity on the last fastball.
And that is the mellifluous tones of one Randy Rosenbloom. You know, we work alone in this booth, but Randy is our guest broadcaster today with all that great experience he's had, as that's waved at and missed on the part of Pfaffman, and the count 1-2.
Cade's had a nice season. He's 6-2. He's got a nice ERA, and he looks confident out on the bump. And with those first three pitches, you can see that he's bringing it.
Nickel looking for a sign from his sophomore catcher, Nick Perez. The fastball misses outside, 1-2. Now we'll take a good look at this West Ranch team adorned in that white uniform. It's good-looking white uniform, white hat. It's Nickel and Perez, your battery. And Cade Nickel, this is his 10th start of the year for the junior. Three-quarter delivery misses outside, count full 3-2. It's Justin Bumgarner at first base, Evan Galatly, the second baseman. Christos Stefanos, one of the seniors graduating, heading to Biola at short. And Ryan Farr at the hot corner at third. Nickel comes back 3-2. It's a chopper, comes back over to Stefanos near the bag. Throw to first in time for out number 1.
Good location on that pitch. He sawed the bat off of Pfaffman's hands in a slow roller. And a good play at the other end by Stefanos, charging it, getting a convenient hop, and throwing it over to Bumgarner.
Here's your Wildcat outfield, and it's been intact virtually the complete season with Garrett Monheim, the G-man in left, and the Camacho brothers, respectively, center and right, Joe Vaughn in center, Ryan Camacho in right field. Nickel, number 2 in wins in the league, and it's lifted to center, and he covers a lot of real estate out there, Randy Rosenbloom. One Jovan Camacho, and one thing you're going to enjoy watching the Camacho brothers, they come out of the West Ranch football program where they were all league football players.
Well, they're athletes, and that's what you want on the exterior defense out on the flanks, playing the outfield and on the grass. And he immediately went back, but the ball held up, not hit well enough to even reach the track, and Camacho easily was able to handle that one.
They bring a football sensibility, so to speak, to the baseball diamond. Fun to watch them as Matt Broadwater checks in right now for the Grizzlies. Nickel deals, and it's over for a strike.
This is a confident West Ranch team. They've played Golden Valley twice, both times, including the game the other day. They put up 12 runs. They also know that West Ranch is struggling, hasn't won a league game, and comes in here with a 10-game losing streak.
And this is going to be a high pop-up in shallow left on the grass. Stefanos gauges it and squeezes it for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down. A very efficient inning for Cade Nickel as we head to the bottom of the first. It's the Grizzlies nothing, and West Ranch coming up on the all-new West Ranch Baseball Channel. We'll be right back. Ryan Camacho followed by Will Chambers and Nick Perez for the Cats here in the first inning. No score. A perfect 1-2-3 inning for Cade Nickel. As we said, Randy Rosenbloom, legendary broadcaster. I'll tell you, one of my idols in the Southland broadcasting realm. Did several Olympics for NBC, worked for Fresno State University, Pepperdine, you name it. He's been everywhere, and he's gracing our Wildcat broadcast booth this afternoon. Glad to have him on board.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to watching the Wildcats. They've had another successful year. Seemingly every season, Casey's clubs are right up near the Foothill League Championship, and they just get the job done. So it's my pleasure to come out and witness their performance on this particular lovely afternoon.
And we just wish that it would have been a better matchup, because they have faced off against Golden Valley over the 12 years they've had varsity baseball in West Ranch, and now beaten them 22 straight times, Randy. And last time Golden Valley beat them, West Ranch, was 2011.
Well, it speaks to the kind of program that they've had here at West Ranch, and the fact that they're a playoff contender and a CIF Division I contender every season.
Of course, Golden Valley, CIF Division 4, as that's down low in the dirt, and the count 3-1 to Ryan Camacho. One more thing, though, this game is fraught with playoff implications. Hart High School today, which is one game ahead of West Ranch, they're playing Valencia. If they lose and West Ranch beats Golden Valley here, we've got that tie for the Foothill League title. So this game is very important to West Ranch, regardless of who they're playing.
And it's imperative for Colon, the pitcher of this Golden Valley team, to have good control. He doesn't overpower hitters. He's going to have to move the ball up and down and hit his spots. He can ill afford to walk a lot of batters or be outside the strike zone.
Colon comes back 2-2. That's down low in the dirt. So already expended a number of pitches here, run the count full to a very dangerous hitter, Ryan Camacho. How dangerous? He's number 3 in the Foothill. Just 10 points under the 400 average at 390. It's going to be a chopper down the third baseman, Logan Reitmeyer. Goes to first and off the bag, and he's safe at first. So that's, again, the old adage, Randy. Speed never has a slump. And that goes for the Camacho brothers for sure.
And if you're Golden Valley, you get a fine pitch from your young hurler, Bryant Colon, and then you're betrayed by your third baseman, Reitmeyer, with an errant throw. See, when you're in a bad slump and you've lost 10 games in a row, you make mistakes. And early on, Golden Valley, a little bit of a door opening for Camacho, Chambers, and company at West Ranch.
And now here's Will the Thrill Chambers stepping up there. And you're talking about rewriting the West Ranch history book as that slider misses outside to Will. Want to know it's a right-hander against a switch-hitting Will Chambers from the left side of the plate, and knowing that Will is on number 9. You hear that over and over, number 9, number 9. He's got 9 homers, 1 more, and he'll have the all-time record in West Ranch history, double digits, and we're all hoping he can get it. If not in this ball game, then at least the 1 more playoff game, which will be a week from Friday.
Not good for Cologne. He's already fallen behind to Chambers, and Will can really take a hard look at this next one. You got to figure that Cologne's going to be around the plate. There's no question that Bryant Cologne on the mound knows all the accolades, all the numbers on Chambers, and he's pitching very carefully to him.
Will sporting an .824 slugging average. Here's the 2-0. Taken outside. No, it's a strike outside part of the plate. Well, that's what happens when I get ahead of myself there.
Well, that's what Cologne needs to do, though. He's got to work on the edges. He can't deal into the wheelhouse of Chambers, or Will will take it for a long ride.
No doubt. Will also 39 runs batted in. The top mark, 49, is held by a young man, Darius Perry. He's from La Mirada High School. So Will has a long way to go to catch up in that being the California State League race, but he's way out in front in the Foothill League race with the 39. 3-1 count, nobody out, runner at first, and it's ball 4. Well, what we were told, Randy, was that they moved him up in the lineup because they just wouldn't pitch to him. Now, Will Chambers has been moved from the cleanup spot to the number 2 spot, and guess what? Cologne really didn't pitch to him that time.
Yeah, but you're getting base runners, and that's what you want to do. You want to put the pressure on Golden Valley. They've already committed an error by their third baseman, Reitmeyer. They'll walk no hits here, but the West Ranch Wildcats are in business with an opportunity to break through early, and that's going to be tough on Golden Valley. Again, their heads are down a little bit. They've lost 10 in a row, and you really want to get the jump on them, and here's a chance for the Wildcats to do just that.
All right, Nick Perez is the guy to do it. He's about the hottest of the West Ranch players. Boilerplate hot right now at .373 average, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in. There's not a lot of home runs hit in the Foothill League this year. People haven't been able to explain it. 9 for Will Chambers, 7 for Roederer over there at Hart. And then you've got the number 3 guy right here at the plate, the sophomore. He's a diminutive young man, but I talked to him before the game as he takes the pitch that time for a strike, count even at 1-1. And he told me, just point blank, he goes, I just want to stay balanced at the plate and get good opportunities every time I go up there. It's irrelevant about my bodily size or whatever. He's still growing into his body. As we said, he's only 15. As the pitch is a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, early in the count, Perez is looking to lay down the bunt and move the runners over. Casey looking for the percentages, trying to get runners into scoring position and get that early lead. But now, down in the count 1-2, one would think Perez will be swinging away.
All right, the 1-2 offering. Misses high and way outside. It's 2-2. Nobody out. This Golden Valley team denied in the top of the first. 3 up, 3 down against Cade Nickel. But now, just like that, West Ranch trying to break the ice and get something started here in the bottom of the first inning. As we said on senior day here at Wildcat Field, right on the ground, back to the second baseman, Castaneda. To second for 1, back to first, and he's safe at first base. So they get the force on Will Chambers. Scooting over into third base is Ryan Camacho. And they've got themselves a force play, 1 down, and the cleanup hitter, Jovan Camacho.
That should have been a double play. I'm kind of surprised Castaneda didn't take the ball to the bag. He elected to underhand it to his shortstop, Martinez, and then Martinez with not a good throw. So really, you look out at the job by Bryant Cologne, he's getting the ball over the plate other than the 1 walk where he really pitched around Chambers, but his defense around him has been shaky in this their first inning, in the bottom of the first. Really, you want to get better support than that when you're on the road. You got to field your position, and early on, some leaks on that defensive side for Golden Valley.
Coach Sorensen out there running the Golden Valley program, the Grizzlies out there having a word with the umpire.
Not happy with the call. He thought his first baseman, Faffman, was on the bag, and he's had 2 of them go against him, but still in all, I mean, his fielders are throwing the ball errantly, and that's really unfair to Bryant Cologne, who, that was just a perfect double play ball. It should have been 2 outs, and he gives the Wildcats are really a golden opportunity here. You got your cleanup batter coming up in Jovan Camacho. He's coming on. He's hitting over 300. And since he's been moved into that cleanup position, he's been a butter and egg guy driving in runs.
That's a good metaphor. Absolutely true. When you talk about Jovan with subpar hitting for a bulk of the season, we're waiting for him to come alive, and he has in a big way. He's 5 for his last 7 at the plate. The fastball's a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Cologne living on the outside edge. He does not want to give in to these very talented West Ranch hitters.
So West Ranch right now threatening with 1 down, an 0-1 count to Jovan Camacho, and runners at the corners. A quick throw to check Nick Perez at first. Jovan Camacho, for much of the year, it's been a struggle, and more strikeouts than you would expect from a hitter of his caliber. But like we noted, he's been red hot of late, and now finally an average over 300. Squaring to bunt, the runner takes off. Here's the throw down to second. They get him at second. Unfortunately, waiting at third, he didn't take off himself, was one Ryan Camacho. So they get, this time, nailed on the stolen base attempt, Nick Perez. They've got 2 down. Jovan at the plate with the count 1-1, and his brother 90 feet away from scoring down there at third, Ryan.
Perfect throw by Matt Broadwater. I mean, that one was right on target. He gunned down the runner, and there's the defense that Golden Valley's been looking for.
Matt, the senior, and has gone through a lot of pain being with this Grizzly team the last couple of years. We've followed his progress. It's not just West Ranch, Randy, that's beating up on this Golden Valley Grizzly team. They have lost 19 straight league games, and that dates back into 2017.
Well, there's no question they're a hungry baseball team. They've lost to 10 straight. As you mentioned, they haven't won a league game this year, so they're hungry, and they also know they're in a very tough situation. They're playing, Wildcats on senior day, and they're obviously wanting to win and go out in their final regular season game at home with a victory.
And Cologne with the pitch down in the dirt. And when we came in, we looked at the rosters, and usually they only give us the first initial. B. Cologne, Bartolo Cologne, could it be? And Randy was quick to point out this young man very thin, angular, and there's no way he's like the beefy former Mets pitcher.
I don't know that Bryant Cologne, 2 of them would be big enough to be Bartolo.
Sandwiched in between. 2-2. Laced into left, but right at the third baseman, Logan Reitmeyer. And so it was tagged beautifully. The metaphor hit on the screws, but right at Reitmeyer for the third out, leaving Ryan Camacho at third. 1 inning gone, and no score. West Ranch and Golden Valley will be right back. Now. No score in this one from Wildcat Field in Stevenson Ranch, California. West Ranch taking on Golden Valley in the final regular season game of the year. And more play-by-play, here's Randy Rosenbloom.
All right, thank you, Ronnie, and good afternoon, everyone. It'll be hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the Grizzly lineup, facing Cade Nickel, who was smooth in that first frame and retired the first 3 in the order. Misses outside, ball 1. And Andrew Castaneda, the second baseman of the Grizzlies. Nickel was impressive in that first inning, kept the ball down. Let his defense do the job. The next one's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Castaneda. One thing you like about this West Ranch Wildcat team, not the fact that they're just 18-9 and 10-4 in a very good Foothill league. But in all facets of the game, they're solid. They hit the ball well, over 300 as a team, as that one bends in for a strike. They run the base paths effectively, and they field their position. Then you look at the team ERA, and it's the best in the Foothill league. Right around 2.5 per ball game. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Castaneda. Nickel deals to the plate. That one cuts inside, and it's 2-2. Of course, the Cats want to win today, with some help from Valencia. I'm hoping the Vikings can knock off Hart. They could share the Foothill League championship. Always have a breeze here at Wildcat Stadium, and it's in the face of the hitters right now. There's a breaking ball, cut out and missed, and down goes Castaneda. First strikeout of the afternoon for Nickel.
And that is a good point. And for our fans, they come in and out of the broadcast. We got some around the country. We're not just based here in Southern California, but we try to emphasize, and I know Randy will give you the dimensions here, but Wildcat Field, it's like the tale of two cities. Hard to hit a ball out to left field here with the wind blowing from left to right. But if you can get into the jet stream to right, you can carry it out of here.
It's hit to right field by Wright Meyer, but it's back out of play, trying to go the other way. And that's a good idea. It's a shorter field there at 275. So as Ronnie just alluded to, if you can get it into that jet stream, you can get it out of the yard here. It is 370 to dead center. There's one, a fastball at the knees for another strike, and that's where Nickel wants to live. He wants to keep the ball down right around the knees, and he got that one over the plate right into the glove of Nick Perez. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Currying in his Nickel. Here's the pitch to the plate. Swung on and hit in the air back of first base. And that one's going to fall untouched. Over to take a look at it. It was Bumgardner, but he ran out of room.
Also out there, Ryan Camacho. And again, for our fans around the country who are going to, again, take notice of the Camacho brothers, they're coming back next year. They already had a stellar, incredible sophomore campaign last year. And now they're in their junior year. One thing about the West Ranch program, Randy, you've got a JV and freshman realm, and Casey Burrell in charge of all of it. And I'll tell you, these kids are ready to play in the sophomore varsity right out of JV. It's a wonder.
No question, there's great tradition here. This one's rolled to the left side. Third base, Farr, across the diamond 2 away. Ryan Farr making it look easy as he tossed that one
and
over to Bumgardner.
He is one of the sophomores who's just been terrific at third base. And finally, of late, his bat has come alive, and it couldn't come at a better time. In fact, there's a group of West Ranch players expected to do much better with the bat and coming alive at this fortuitous time with playoffs coming up next week. We're talking about Stefanos, we're talking about Jovan Camacho, and Ryan Farr. Their bats are, again, sorely needed.
Ball 1 to Colin Woodard, the designated hitter. He's hitting today for the right fielder, Kerry Caruso. So Woodard, the better hitter. Caruso, obviously, the better defender. And they want Woodard's bat in the lineup, and they'll need it against those kind of offerings from Cade Nichols, able to blow the fastball by him. That was just plain and simply a little bit of hardball from Cade Nichols, who's retired the first 5 he's faced in the Grizzly lineup. This Wildcat right-hander, he looks sharp on the hill. Buzzes another one tight to the belt buckle.
Cade is another one, even though as a junior, his baseball IQ is far beyond his 16 years, and he's got a great countenance out there. His location, oh boy, location, that's his cup of tea.
Right at the knees, right over the plate, another strike. He appears to be confident.
His 6-2 mark is number 2 in number of wins in the Foothill, and his 1.7 ERA is number 5. He's the workhorse on the staff, over 54 innings of work.
At the knees for strike 3 as he gets Woodard looking. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Cade Nichols. Hasn't he been impressive early on for the Wildcats? He's retired the first 6, 2 Ks in the second inning. After an inning and a half, it's the Grizzlies nothing, the Cats nothing. We're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. Randy Rosenbloom with Ronnie Wald back at Wildcat Stadium.
And Randy, your first time here at Wildcat Stadium. I know it's a wind-blown place, kind of a wild, bucolic setting, but look at that vista out there. Very picturesque.
Well, it's as beautiful as the program itself. Everything is good for Casey Burrell and company. Leading off in the second inning is Chris Stefanos. Chris having another stellar year. Has a homer and 17 RBIs to go with his .274 batting average. And he hits that one to left field and down the line. It's a foul ball. Chris has 8 doubles.
He hit the longest shot of the year down the left field line. It looked like one of my 4-irons as it started to hook away. And I mean, there is a large building down there. That's the batting cages, and he cleared that. But all it was a foul ball.
There's a good-looking pitch, and down goes Stefanos. That's the best pitch of the afternoon so far for Bryant Colon, and it gives him his first strikeout as Stefanos is caught looking. Here's Garrett Monaheim. Monaheim today playing in the outfield. He's out in left field. G-Man.
Affectionately known as the G-Man. He, along with the Camacho brothers, I know there's all this talk, and we go around preseason trying to dredge up the nuggets of information, but they were very adamant, the coaches, that it's one of the better outfields in terms of speed in America. Not just California, in America. And Garrett's out there making it happen with the Camacho brothers. Very few balls get through in the gaps.
Terrific changeup by Colon, who pulled the string. 0-2 to Monaheim. He's hitting .236, and he's raised that average. He's been hitting well of late. Just missed. In fact, the catcher, Broadwater, thought it was strike 3. He was about ready to toss that ball around the infield. So Colon able to get out of a first inning jam, which wasn't his own doing. Remember, Wright Mara had an error in third. Defend well. It's off of the pitcher's glove, and that could be and will be an infield single for Monaheim. Believe it or not, that's the first hit of the ball game. That uprising in the first inning was an error and a walk that produced the rally for the Cats. Here, it's generated with 1 out as Monaheim gets the hit. Here's Evan Galatly. And Galatly will climb in.
Nebraska Wesleyan all the way. Made his announcement last week with much fanfare. He already had an on-campus announcement for all the athletes of West Ranch heading to NC2A schools or wherever. And Evan just didn't want to be part of the group. He's kind of an individualist. And the next day, he made the announcement. He's going to join his good buddy Justin Bumgarner in Lincoln, Nebraska.
One's buzzed inside for a ball. Watch Monaheim at first base. You all know the Wildcats like to run. 1 out single for Monaheim. 0-0, bottom of the second inning. In our Foothill League game, featuring West Ranch baseball. That one's outside and wide.
That seemed to me to be the pitch out, Randy, that time.
Almost looked like that, didn't it? As Broadwater came out of his crouch, and he was looking to throw. I don't know that it was an intentional pitch out, but it certainly served that purpose.
Monaheim taking a very big, generous lead at first. Remember, 4 of the top 10 stolen base specialists in the league are Wildcats, not Monaheim. He should be.
Lifted to center field. Dazek comes in and makes the catch, and back to first goes Monaheim.
On that
Ratley got under it just a smidge.
And that was that particular fly ball center took off on Dazek at the last moment, and that's what's going on with the swirling winds out there in center field and right. You just can't take it for granted. He came up quickly on it, and then all of a sudden the ball started to take off on its own like a jackrabbit.
One of the things we have here, even though the field is wind blown at times, it get worse and then better, then degrade a little bit at certain times because of the wind and the conditions are difficult. But you have a team that hasn't traveled all that far. They're all from the Santa Clarita area. So both teams understand how to play the elements. So it shouldn't bother these defenders when the ball is lifted in the air.
Well, Randy, you need to go over to the Golden Valley field. It is windswept in the optimum. We're up there on a peak, at least 400 foot. and it's a magnificent view, but the winds here are minor league compared to the Golden Valley particular field.
And that's my point exactly.
Right.
We all know how to play in the Santa Clarita Valley. One strike to Bumgarner, that's laced to left field, and it's a base hit. The second hit of the inning, and going over to third base is Monheim, as he was going as the ball was connected with. First and third for the second inning in a row for the Wildcats. I'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ryan Farr, but he's got a nice average in that 9-hole at 275. And the Wildcats get a clutch 2-out hit from Farr.
And Ryan is 7 for his last 15 to get his average up there. Again, he was one of those subpar averages, but there was a lot of forgiveness because he's only a sophomore. He's getting acclimated. I believe he's acclimated now and at the right time as we're heading into the postseason.
And he goes the other way down the line, and that one's going to curl foul and back out of play.
And near Camacho Corner over there, the Camacho family. If you notice a number one of those tents over there, and with my crude PowerPoint, there's an opening down the right field line where they can see through the fence, and they just love watching, again, their boys do their thing in center and right.
How great is that to have your sons occupy 2/3 of the outfield when the Wildcats are playing defense?
It's the same on the defensive backs for the West Ranch football team.
Curveball, again, he goes the other way, hits it hard, but again, he's foul. Missed by about 15 feet going down the right field line. And that's a good job by Ryan Fair, even though he's in a little bit of a hole here. But he's hitting the ball where it's being thrown, and he's trying to go the other way. Ryan Farr.
He's growing into a body. He hit a shot over at Canyons, and they have a berm over there like they used to have with Houston Astros, and he hit it up the berm.
Well, he didn't take a swing at this one. It was over the plate. Good job again by Cologne. And for the second inning in a row, the Cats strand runners at the corners. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left to board. Through 2, it remains. The Wildcats and Grizzlies are scoreless. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. Well, the good news for Golden Valley, they're even at 0-0, and they have shortened the game in a sense. 7-inning contest. As an underdog, you just want to stay there as long as you can. First one in and over to Bailey Martinez, strike 1. And Cade Nickel has been flawless through the first 2 innings, retiring all 6 batters and striking out 2.
And he's been that way. Pardon me, Randy. He's been that way all through the 2018 spring season. He's been uncannily consistent. In fact, last week against Valencia, he had himself another great outing, and that's why the ERA is so far down and why he's been such a pride for West Ranch, considering they lost Burge and Callahan, the 1 and 2 starters.
Curveball lifted to right field. That'll hang up in the air for Ryan Camacho, and there's 1 away.
You notice, Randy, you have the shades down, and that is a problem here. Same layout as Dodger Stadium. You know they always talk about an afternoon game at Dodger Stadium, how difficult it would be with the sun setting beyond the western horizon here. Well, you'll start to see that happen right here, and Ryan had to keep his eyes on it, and you can see the solar plexus, the sun shining right off his spectacles there.
But he was able to handle it flawlessly. 1 away to Bryant Cologne, the pitcher hitting in the number 8 spot in the Grizzly lineup. Grizzlies looking for some offense They've been cuffed around all season long, not only in the Foothill League, but certainly the Wildcats have battered them in the 2 games, scoring 12 runs in each contest. There's one rolled to the left side. Tough play for Stefanos, the shortstop. Charges, makes a strong throw. And that's a great play by Chris Stefanos, making a difficult play look easy, and there's 2 down.
That's not his natural position. He's grown into it. There was a catching crisis here last summer. Stefanos was the everyday catcher, and they found themselves losing a shortstop. And as a result, Griso said, because he's a team player, I'll go out there, I can handle it. And so they had to depend on Nick Perez, a sophomore catcher, and everything's worked out just beautifully.
Fastball right down the middle for strike 1 to Dylan Dazek. Dazek is the center fielder of the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies at 9-18 overall, and again sticking out like a sore thumb. Winless, 0-4 in the Foothill League, 0-14.
And as you mentioned, that streak goes back to last year where they've dropped 19 straight league contests. What you like here, what you're seeing from Nickel, he's ahead of these hitters. Quickly, he has Dazek by the neck, 0-2. First 8 have been retired by Cade Nickel. One broke just a bit outside, and it's 1-2, a hard break to it.
He sports the moniker, the nickname, Fish and Chips. That was given to him by Brett Barbary, the 7-year major leaguer who lives out here in Santa Clarita Valley, who coached this young man.
1-2 pitch on the outside edge for strike 3. Dazek is caught looking. 3 of the 9 have struck out. 2 of the 3 struck out looking. All 9 have gone down facing the offerings of Cade Nickel. After 2.5, it's the Grizzlies nothing, your Cats nothing. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. Well, the Wildcats have had opportunities in the first 2 frames, but they were foiled by the offerings of Bryant Cologne, getting out of 2 jams. Cats have left 4 through the first 2, and we go into the bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless game. Top of the order, Camacho, Chambers, and Perez. Hitters 1, 2, and 3 in Casey Burrell's lineup. Hit hard to center field, but it stayed up. And in to get it is Dazek. It was hit crisply by Ryan Camacho.
And it really took off that time, just like other fly balls to center. And, of course, the center fielder, Dazek, as you said, Randy, they do know how to handle the wind, the swirling wind. But I'll tell you, it was tagged. The big controversy the last 10 years has been the bats have been neutered. They don't have the power that they once had that we remember when we broadcast 20, 30 years ago. But this West Ranch team at times foils that notion, including this young man, Will Chambers, at the plate. They still hit the ball a long way.
When you look at Will Chambers, think of Aaron Judge or Stanton, because those guys had over 50 homers last year, but that's an 162-game season. If you put the numbers over 162 games that Will's putting up, he'd have over 50 home runs. He's on that kind of pace if they played that many games. And he looks at another one low, and there is no question that Bryant Cologne doesn't want any part of Will Chambers.
this was the reason they moved him up in the lineup, because he wasn't being pitched to down there when he was the cleanup hitter for the majority of the year.
Well, the good news is he creates traffic on the base paths. He looks at the automatic 3-1. To the credit of Bryant Colon, he's kept his team in the game.
Yes, he has.
And as the visitors, that's all you really want. The 3-1 pitch, that's a breaking ball, and it's ball 4.
And it's really heart-rending to the fans here. Well, they're happy to see a walk, but they really want Will to park one and go a long way, go yard, because he's tied with the legendary Jake Bernards. Jake, down back there in 2009, hit 9 home runs in 1 year for West Ranch. And Will Chambers has 9 also. And the bottom line is they'd love to see him do it here at home, because this may be the last home game of the year. We don't know what's going to happen in the postseason.
Perez looks at his strike. So Chambers has been up twice, drawn a walk both times. That's not a shock. Obvious that he's the one guy in the lineup they've designated at Golden Valley. They don't want Chambers to beat him. He's in the dirt. Good stop by Matt Broadwater behind home plate. So it's Chambers at first. 1 out walk. Remember, Camacho started the inning, hitting the ball very hard to center fielder Dylan Daszak. So for the 3rd inning in a row, traffic on the base paths for the Cats. There's another one hit well, but it's on the ground to 3rd. Reitmeyer to 2nd for 1, on to 1st. And that is a double play that ends the inning. So that's a better job by the Golden Valley defense. An easy frame for Cologne. And after 3, we're scoreless. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. Ronnie will be back right after this.
Hi, everyone. Ronnie Wald along with Randy Rosenbloom. Of course they're going to see us. Here we are at Wildcat Field. Randy, the legendary Southern California sports broadcaster, joining us in the broadcast booth. And again, we already mentioned how much he loves the vistas, the beautiful, picturesque Wildcat Field. But what about the West Ranch team? Right now, they're deadlocked with Golden Valley, and this is the final game of the year.
Well, they've had opportunities, Ronnie. I mean, they just haven't broken through. What's most impressive is Cade Nickel on the bump. He's faced 9 batters. He's retired all of them. He struck out 3 of them. He really is locked in pitching the baseball today for the Cats.
Great. Okay, let's go back to this one. Great job, Randy, on the play-by-play. And I'll take over from here at this point. Randy will be back in the 6th inning. And we have right now a Grizzly at the plate. That's their nom de plume, their sobriquet, the Grizzlies. However, they've run into a tough last several years in the Foothill League. The count right now is 0-1. Cade Nickel starting his own 4th inning of work. Here's the fastball backing him off the plate. It's number 3, Cameron Pfaffman, top of the order here. And by the way, I should have known that. He's pitching a perfect game at this juncture of the ball game. And you know they always talk about the no-hit, perfect game hex. The announcer's not supposed to say anything. How are you going to know anything if we don't tell you? Up the middle, and it's going to squirt through. So much for the jinx. I said it was a perfect game, and just like that, Pfaffman is seeing eye single up the middle to get the base hit. First hit of the ball game for the Grizzlies, and here comes one Chandler Smith.
And we'll see if Sorensen's team elects to try to lay a bunt down. We're into the 4th inning now. It's scoreless. He's trying to get a runner into scoring position. They got Pfaffman, who's got good speed at first. See if they try to move him along. At least you would think that, and certainly the Cats believe that, is at third base. Forrest come in on the grass believing that Chandler Smith may lay down a bunt.
All right, let's see if he does just that. Yeah, he's scoring a bunt right now. lays it down, a beauty, right down to Bumgardner. Will then flip over to Evan Galatly, and the sacrifice consummated there, allowing Faffin to scamper into second. We've got ourselves one down, and a Grizzly in scoring position. And here comes Matt Broadwater.
Well, this is the perfect storm if you're Golden Valley. They got hitters 3 and 4 coming up, trying to break through. You're the underdog. You've been a beleaguered baseball team. You're playing a powerhouse team in the area, a team that's going to go to the Southern Section Division I playoffs, but a real opportunity, and they haven't had any opportunities to get the lead right in the middle of the ballgame. This could be a real confidence builder for the Grizzlies.
And West Ranch still playing hard because they're just hoping that they can get the W, and then Hart ends up getting beaten by Valencia, and that means they'll have a share of the Foothill League title.
Well, you don't want to be scoreboard watching at this point. You got to get the job done. First things first, Cats need to take care of business.
Amen. 0-1 count, one down, no score in this ball game. West Ranch and Golden Valley. Cade Nickel, as we said, fish and chips. You've heard the classic story, Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Not with this young man. It's Hello, Mr. Chips. What an effort, again, on his part here in 2018 as the fastball misses high. Count even at 1-1. We've got Grizzlies right now in scoring position. One Grizzly, that is. And it's a result, that is Cameron Pfaffman. One away. Broadwater popped out in the first inning. Kudos go out to, we call him the grounds crew, but it's Casey Burrell and his staff, because the field just looks magnificent. It's been through a lot in the last couple of years, as this is a high pop-up down the line, far chasing, so it's left fielder G-Man, and our view obstructed over there, but when we don't get any applause from the fans, we know that ball wasn't caught. That's the only way we could know at some of these angles. We had an angle the other day at Golden Valley, and I would turn the camera, pan it down right field line. I said, look, fans, that's the view you've got, that's the view I've got.
Great effort by Farr at third, but he just simply ran out of room. Broadwater at the plate is looking to lift the ball up. You see that in this new age where everybody tries to hit the ball in the air. It's obvious if you watch Broadwater, the way he swings, he's trying to get under the ball and get it into that massive wind. Hopefully, he can, for his sake, hit it to right field. He pulled that one.
Pitcher Nickel deals and fouled back on the screen. Yeah, Rob Van Syak is the hitting coach for Arizona Diamondbacks, and he's worked with a number of these young men out there. I'm not just talking about West Ranch, but with Hart, Valencia, Saugus, because he's from this area, so they know him well, and he's the one that's been promoting that. I think some of the terminology is exit, mass, or volume.
Exit velocity.
Wow, it came out last week in SI, and I got lost. It was a lot of technical terms for baseball, but the key is to always hit the ball in the air, no matter
that's
what.
The one thing. You've seen that. You look at some of the Dodger hitters, and Bellinger is a classic example. The guy trying to lift the ball up. Last year, Yasiel Puig tried to do the same thing. Here you see it with a youngster in Matt Broadwater trying to hit under the ball, getting up into the wind, and knock it out of the yard. But to do that here, he's got to go the other way.
It's a new era of thought. Remember Charlie Lau told George Brett and all those guys to hit it down in the dirt? Now he has a ground ball in the dirt over there against Stefanos. The throw to J. Bum at first for the out. And we've got ourselves 2 outs here in the fourth inning.
So
Runner
much
scored.
for hitting it in the air.
Yeah, and as a result, the runner remained to second. So we still have no score.
Yeah, he was unable to get the ball up into the air and into that wind. And one thing that's noticeable, Chris Stefanos has been very good early on at shortstop. He's had a couple of plays, and he's made it look easy, showcasing a very strong arm.
Yes, he has
from the
that
middle
for
of
sure.
that infield.
He's a catcher turned shortstop, so the arm is there. The question has always been his range, and he's been, again, working on that, and as the season's progressed, he's gotten better and better. Here's the first pitch swinging right back to Christos. This one with that great arm, and he nails them at first. So they leave one at second. That was their first base runner of the ball game. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 3.5 gone here at Wildcat Field. No score. West Ranch and, of course, our good friends at Golden Valley. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. We'll be right back.
I'm giving you good stuff.
Welcome back, everyone, to Wildcat Field. Ronnie Wald. Normally I say on a broadcast solo bid, but I've got some pretty, again, outstanding company here. And Randy Rosenbloom joining me in the broadcast booth. Hope you're enjoying it. And the first pitch to Jovan is a strike from Cologne, 0-1.
I kind of like what Cologne has given Golden Valley. He's given them a chance. Pitching against one of the best lineups in the Foothill League. You can make an argument it is the best lineup in the league. And so far, Cologne's been able to wiggle out of a couple jams, and he's been around the plate. And that's what you want from a young pitcher.
Cologne comes right back with the slider, misses, and it's 2-1. Well, you just look at the different perspectives. You think about West Ranch, they're in the playoffs no matter what happens. It's a superfluous kind of game. But for Golden Valley, it means everything to not have an 0-for season. As this is bunted foul, and it's 2-2.
Well, you don't want to go into the offseason with a 20-game losing streak in the league, losing your last 11 games overall. You want to have a positive vibe to take to next year. And again, there's a lot of young players on Golden Valley. A lot of these kids are coming back next season. They want to build off a good outing here today. And they're getting a great pitching performance from Bryant Cologne.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Jovan feeling it of late with a great average uptick. That one tried to go yard and instead strikes out. In this ball game, 3 strikeouts on the part of one Bryant Cologne. Colon. And here comes Cristo Stefanos, struck out himself in the second inning. Swings away and flared foul up and over the screen, 0-1.
It's been fun to watch Stefanos play shortstop today. He's noted for being, a good hitter and knocking in runs with some power to all fields. But he's been slick at shortstop, and he's made it look easy. Had one tough ball he had to charge and make the throw to first, and he was able to do that. He's covered a lot of ground. You said if there was any issue with his defense, it was covering ground, but he's made it look very, very flawless in the field.
I think Biola knows that he's available if they have to put him there, but really, he is an outstanding catcher. Led the Foothill League last year in throwing out opposing runners. By the way, we at West Ranch really know how to develop catchers because the sophomore Nick Perez is leading the Foothill now in throwing out opposing runners. At Biola, they're moving over into the Pac West Conference, away from the NAIA and into NC2A Division II. So guess where?
Always trying to move up.
Yeah, well, this will be a good one for Christos because one of the trips is Hawaii Hilo. My friend is AD over there. Nice gig. This is a ground ball to short. Martinez had Reitmeyer cut in front of him and no play. And, of course, if they were tough on them, they'd rule an error. But I know they're going to end up giving an infield single on that one to Christos Stefanos.
I think it has to be a single because the simple fact, there's no guarantee even if he fielded it cleanly, he would have been able to get him as Christoph was running down the line very well. So you got to give him an infield single. And again, for the 4th inning in a row, the Wildcats have traffic on the base paths. They weren't able to capitalize in the first 3 frames. Let's see what they can do here in the 4th.
All right, the left-handed bat of the G-man, Garrett Monheim. First pitch swinging. Late on that one as Cologne pulled the string, and we've got ourselves 0-1. Again, it's a battery of Cologne and Broadwater, Pfaffman, Castaneda, Martinez, and Reitmeyer around the horn this afternoon for the Grizzlies.
Garrett was thinking about a home run. He really took that
yes,
big
he
cut
did.
The first time.
He's homerless this year. Completing the Golden Valley outfield is Chandler Smith in left, Dylan Daszak in center, Corey Caruso going to belt out an aria for us in right. 1-1, 1 down. And no score in this ball game. West Ranch and Golden Valley.
That would surprise a lot of people in the Foothill League.
This is laced right at the second baseman. Castaneda will flip to first for the double play. And Christos Stefanos, the look of incredulity on his face. He pulls off the helmet at second base. What could he do? They get another double play.
Last 2 innings, Bryant Cologne has had the help in the infield. Remember, they struggled defensively in the first inning, but he got out of it in the last couple innings. He's gotten a couple double plays, aiding and abetting Cologne on the hill.
No doubt the pitcher's best friend. And after 4 complete, no score. West Ranch and Golden Valley. And you're watching Wildcat Baseball on the all-new West Ranch Baseball Channel. As we swing down to the 5th inning of play, Cade Nickel gives up a line drive down the line into the corner. It's going to be extra base city. No, it won't be. Getting it in quickly, the G-man, great job in left field to keep that from being an extra base hit. It was Logan Reitmeyer, and that time, as effective as Cade Nickel has been, Randy, he didn't fool Logan Reitmeyer.
Yeah, that was the hardest hit ball by far off the bat of any of the Grizzlies, and Reitmeyer got around on it, pulled it down the line, and you're right, a terrific play by Garrett Monheim to hold Reitmeyer to a long single.
West Ranch adorned, as we said, in that good-looking white uniform, white cap, and they lead the league in uniform changes. As for the Grizzlies, the so-called bad guys, hate to use that metaphor, but they're in the black top, black helmet, gray pant. It's Grizzlies versus Wildcats, natural predatory enemies. A little bunt down to Bumgarner, who falls down, recovers, throws to heaven in time for the out.
Held his composure after sliding down. Nice job by Justin. But on the other side, Golden Valley for the 2nd inning in a row, playing the percentage, playing small ball, getting a runner into scoring position. Now they're going to leave it up to their shortstop, Bailey Martinez. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Cologne. This is the tail end of the order for Cade Nickel to negotiate through. Last inning, he had to get hitters 3 and 4 out with a runner in scoring position when he was able to retire Broadwater and Castaneda.
And Bailey Martinez, the losing pitcher on Tuesday, in this strange scheduling configuration. Last week of the year, play the games on Tuesday and Thursday, not the normal Wednesday, Friday. So here's the first offering, comes over to Bailey, and it's a curveball. It's inside 1-0.
Yeah, a little inside baseball for our fans out there. You told me this was a Friday game because you're accustomed to a Wednesday, Friday alignment, and you had to call me back and say, "Hey, Randy, no, they're going to play the game on Thursday." So thank you.
No, I think you corrected me.
No, I'm trying to make you look good.
I know. Well, no, I look bad anyway because I got to get the scheduling done. I've been with them for 5 years. You got to know the last week it's Tuesday, Thursday. It's a ground ball to Christos. And again, that howitzer-like right arm, throwing out the runner. We've got 2 away, but it turned out number 24, Reitmeyer, was able to saunter into third base right now.
And Chris at short took a peek at third. He was thinking about going after Reitmeyer, the lead run. But he said, nope, I'm going to take the sure out at first, which was the wise, playing easily, was able to retire Bailey Martinez.
Now it's Bryant Cologne, the opposite number of Cade Nickel out there, with an open stance at the plate, trying to cash in. One Logan Reitmeyer 90 feet away from scoring. No score in this ball game. The pitch is over for a strike. Well, I'll say one thing. West Ranch number 1 in the league in hitting. That just happened this week. They've mostly been number 2 behind Hart all year. Number 1 in slugging. But you wouldn't tell by this ball game they have been neutralized by Cologne, who's at the plate right now in terms of swinging the bat. As the pitch slider outside, 1-1. A 0-0 tie. A game they want to win because they want that Foothill League title. Remember, West Ranch picked one up 2 years ago. And were stymied last year when Valencia snuck by them, won the last 2 games of the year, and won the league title. That's right. That was exciting games. We brought you on liveplaysports.tv. You can still watch it on YouTube, I believe, as that's fouled away. It's 1-2. Oh, by the way, West Ranch had their best record in their 12-year varsity history last year, 12-3, and did not win the title for the league. So that gives you an idea. The Foothill League is a powerhouse conference.
Yeah, and I think that's just, again, a testament to, what Casey's got established here. Every year he's going to get double-digit victories in a very tough league. That's a great job of pitching.
Yes, it was. A high, hard one. He blew him away. And one Cade Nickel. What do you have, Randy, in terms of his strikeouts?
Well, let's count them up. 1, 2, 3. I got him at 4.
4 in the ball game for, again, one of the great Foothill League pitchers this year, the junior Cade Nickel, as we've got 4.5 innings in the books, and still it remains. West Ranch, nothing. Golden Valley, nothing. On this, the Wildcat Baseball Network, on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. We'll be right back. Evan Gallatley will start things off for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Still no score. And I believe we're not even up to the 1 hour mark in this ballgame, Randy Rosenbloom. And you're talking about one of the fastest games we've had all year.
Yeah, it's gone quickly. Double plays have helped out Golden Valley in moving the game along. But, the Cats have had base runners in every inning. They just have not had that key hit so far. Now, in the last inning, in the fourth inning off of Cologne, they really hit the ball hard, but they hit it right at the Grizzlies.
Evan Gallatley, he's an all-around outdoor kind of sports guy. He's a snowboarder, if you can believe it. Ground ball, however, to Bailey Martinez. Throw to first. He's safe at first. My point is, he's outdoor sports. He's in terrific shape, and he can really motor down the line. And evidence of that, Bailey Martinez could not, with his throw, outrun one Evan Gallatley.
Yeah, that's another error on the infield, though, of Golden Valley, and it puts more pressure deep in the game on Bright Cologne. Now, Cologne was able to wiggle out of the jam in the first inning when Reitmeyer had the throwing error. Now we have the leadoff throwing error by Bailey Martinez. Let's see if it opens the floodgates for the Cats.
And here's the pitch, and it's going to be a three-quarter delivery. That's a slider, misses outside, 1-0. Nobody out here, bottom of the fifth, and still it remains West Ranch and Golden Valley. Nada, zilch. Not a thing. Both denied, a 0-0 tie. Now Bumgarner goes deep to right, tracking at the right fielder. It's over his head, and it bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. That would have driven in the run, unfortunately for West Ranch. By the way, you weren't here, Randy, last week when Justin Bumgarner did the same thing. It's rock hard out there in right field. He hit in the same area, and it bounced over the fence, cost him an RBI then, too.
That ball really took off on Caruso in right field, and it got over his head in a hurry, and you're right, had it hit the fence, it would be 1-0 Cats. But now they have that opportunity with runners at second and third, and then you look back at the Bailey Martinez error to start the inning, putting more pressure on Cologne, and he didn't give in. He tried to pitch to Bumgarner, and Bumgarner made him pay, and here's a golden opportunity for the Cats to get ahead of the Golden Valley Grizzlies.
And when you have Ryan Farr, unfortunately did strike out in the second, but if you just go back again in time, 7 for his last 15, now 7 for his last 16, he is again a red-hot hitter, hotter than a piston, and he's stepping to the plate right now.
Well, we just don't know much about Cologne and how much he's got left in the tank. Here he is in the fifth inning. He's made a number of pitches in this game. He's been scrappy out there. He's been able to get out of jams, but this will be his greatest test with runners in scoring position, second and third, and no outs here. So a very tough assignment for Bryant Cologne.
Finally, West Ranch showing the power in J-Bum, Justin Bumgarner, but unfortunately, again, he hit it hard, but not enough to get over the fence, but enough to bounce over the fence. Ground rule double forces Gallatley to third. And here's the offering, and it's a strike, 0-1.
Good breaking ball from Cologne, who in a situation like this is certainly looking for the strikeout. The infield has come in. They need to choke off that runner from third if it's hit on the infield.
Coming in very tight, as Randy noted, third baseman. But right now, to the second baseman. The play is to home. They got him tied up between home plate and third, Gallatley. And finally, no throw. They did have 2 runners, however, on third. Someone's liable to be called out regardless. And now they go after Bumgarner. And then and here comes Gallatley. And again, in a plume of dust coming from home plate, slides in and scores the first run of the ball game. Boy, Randy Rosenbloom got crazy out there. A game of pickle. First, Evan Gallatley got back to third. Then they went after Bumgarner to second. Then here comes Evan to the plate and ends up, remember we talked about he loves snowboarding? Well, that one he snowboarded in with a plume of dust coming from home plate to give the Cats the first score of the ballgame.
Terrific job running the base paths, but again, the catcher there, Broadwater, didn't take the sure out. He tried to run it all the way to the bag. If he would have tagged the runner coming down from third, you take that immediate out. You got to choke off that lead run. They tried to get 2, and it cost them. Cats get a run. Nobody retired, and they still have 2 on.
Exactly right. And now they have to face the numbers 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Cats. Messrs. Ryan Camacho, Chambers, and Nicholas Perez.
Opportunity for a big inning now. You really open it up. And again, faulty defense and opportunistic hitting.
You have to give Evan Gallatley credit. He kept leading the throw back to third back there. And then they ultimately saw Bumgarner, who had made the move from second to third, went after him, and that was their Achilles heel. The sword of Damocles hanging over them that time, because then here comes Evan, reckless abandon, and he ends up scoring. Hot shot off the glove of the third baseman Reitmeyer. Long throw, not nearly in time. Everybody safe. The point was, Evan Gallatley looked like a Mack truck coming down the other side of Grapevine with his brakes out. He was going to score no matter what. Now here's Will Chambers, and Randy, the bases are loaded.
Yeah, it's a real tough situation if you're Golden Valley now. You're not fielding the ball well. Now, that was a tough play, but it was a doable play. So if you're on the hill and you're Bryant Colon, it's evaporated around you. He's done his job. He's had the Cats hit the ball on the ground, and he's been betrayed by his defense. Now he looks up. He's given up a run, not all his own doing. There's nobody out. The bases are jammed, and the top home run hitter in the Foothill League is up there.
Yes, Will, the Thrill Chambers, almost ready to touch history. He's tied for the all-time against single-season home run leadership. He's got 9. In California, the top mark is 13.
Will knows he's going to get a pitch to hit at because Bryant Colon does not want to walk in and run.
The slider misses outside, pitching around him, as he has in this ball game. The count 1-1. Chambers has walked twice in this game.
But again, you don't want to walk him. You want to keep the ball down. If you're Colon, you're looking for a double play ball.
Bumgarner at third, Farr at second, and just a moment ago, Ryan Camacho safe on the error at first, and I believe it was an error. That was very much a ball that could have been trapped by the third baseman, Reitmeyer, and he could have walked to the bag with it.
Now, we don't have a scorer with us. I ruled it a single. It was sharply hit, but I thought it was a play that could have been made.
Believe me, if I got it wrong, I'll hear it from the parents. 2-1. Nobody out. Will waiting, the offering outside, 3-1.
And again, Colon, to your point, is pitching off the strike zone around Will Chambers, even with the bases loaded. He may just forfeit the run rather than give in to Will the Thrill.
Bases loaded, so losing a run make it 2-0, but it could be a lot worse if Will can go yard. He's hit 2 grand slams in the last 12 months, and that one, just a little nubber in front of the plate. It's a foul ball, and the count remains full at 3-2. Moreover, for West Ranch, they're in, again, a wonderful opportunity, and as for Golden Valley, they're in a jackpot right now because nobody out. Here in this, the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Cats have scored 1.
Will Chambers is going to look good in a gaucho uniform in Santa Barbara.
You're going to have fun over there. Unfortunately, his boyhood friend, grew up since kindergarten, will be separated from him. They've been together all those years. Cristo Stefanos is headed to La Mirada, Biola. And this young man, go east young man, down the 101 to Goleta, UC Santa Barbara.
Beautiful campus there
by
the water.
Big West at its best. This is a hot shot in the right. It's going to fall. Take the big bounce. At least it's more RBIs for Chambers. RBI number 40 on the year to lead the Foothill. More importantly, he drives in Bumgarner to make it a 2-0 ball game, and the bases remain loaded.
Just want to move the line, and Chambers did a nice job there of not trying to hit the homer. Everybody here is conscious, maybe thinking he's going to try to hit it out of the yard, get a grand slam, get that 10th home run. Not Will. He just took a nice smooth swing at it, went with it, and hit it hard. He pulled it, and he hit it hard for an RBI single. That's a good job of hitting by Will Chambers.
By the way, that's his 84th lifetime RBI. That's number 1 in West Ranch history for, again, a career. As for the California State RBI race, as we mentioned, Darius Perry over there at La Mirada High, at La Mirada, where Cristo Stefanos is headed. He's got 51 ribbies compared to 40 right now for Will Chambers.
Well, that's going to do it for Bryant Colon, who was betrayed really by his defense. Now, don't get me wrong. In the last couple innings, the Cats have been able to find his fastball. They've been able to locate it, and they pounced on it. But again, you can see why Golden Valley is losing baseball games. You look at the Cats, they're slick defensively. They make all the plays. You know, everything behind Nickel is flawlessly played. On the flip side, everything seems difficult for Golden Valley, and that's one thing, that's one area in the offseason that Sorensen's club's going to have to improve on. They got to get better defensively.
All right, while we take a look at this new pitcher going through the obligatory 8 warm-up pitches, 2-0 Wildcats, nobody out in the bottom of 5th, and the base is still loaded. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Bases loaded. 2 over for the Cats here in the 5th inning. Will Chambers, RBI number 40 on the year. And now here's Nicholas Perez. First pitch swinging, a chopper down the line foul. And a brand new pitcher out there, Randy.
Yeah, it's Pfaffman, who we've seen at the plate. We're going to see him on the mound, the right-hander. Got good control. That's why he's been brought in here, to try to put out the fire. Good job here by the Cats, already with 2 in, bases loaded, an opportunity to put a big crooked number on the board.
So Pfaffman moves from first base to the pitcher's mound, trying to put out the fire right now. 2 over. And this one lifted left side over there into Rattlesnake Bluffs. And the count at 0-2. Just a magnificent Chamber of Commerce-like day here at Wildcat Field, because we thought, and we had heard all week long from the weather person from Weather Channel, that was going to be low 90s. No, it was mid 80s here. I know it's a lot hotter out there on the field, but still a lovely, again, weather to take in baseball. It's a chopper to the first baseman. He goes home for the force out.
Yeah, that's
a brand new first baseman.
Yeah, it's Daniel Goodwin at first.
Good job.
Yeah, he was brought in to play first because Pfaffman was playing first and went from first to pitcher. And again, early on you can see with Pfaffman, he doesn't throw hard, but he gets the ball over the plate. And if he could limit the damage to 2 runs, he could keep Golden Valley into the game. But it's going to be tough because he's got a very tough customer coming to the plate in Jovan Camacho.
And Nick Perez ultimately hit into that force play. They ended up going 3-2 on that particular play, right to home plate, just ahead of the Wildcat runner. And here's a roundhouse curveball into the cleanup hitter, Jovan Camacho, for a ball, 1-0.
It's funny how the ball will find you. Goodwin just comes on the field, hadn't played all day. He's at first base and immediately fields the ball and did a nice job getting it to his catcher, Broadwater.
And I am amazed at that. Guys that ride the pine, and then they're asked to step in there and get the job done. And regardless of if they played every inning or they haven't played in a week, you have to believe he's a little bit rusty out there. Instead, I thought everything about that play, he was heads up, good baseball IQ, and did the right thing. Still 2 runs over for the Cats in the inning. Jovan waiting, pitched down low in the dirt, good save from Matt Broadwater. Though the Cats, again, starting lineup remains the same. It's Ryan Camacho, Chambers, Perez, Jovan Camacho, Stefanos, Monheim, Galatly, Bumgarner, and Favre. And right now, finally breaking through against tough Golden Valley pitching in Cologne. But Cologne finally, his buggy went off the tracks because in this inning, he ended up giving up the 2 runs. And overall in this ballgame, going 4+ innings, he surrendered 8 hits. The 2-0. Is a fastball up tight, and it's going to be now 3-0.
Another one outside the strike zone. It'll be a free run for the Cats. So you know Pfaffman's going to try to get that ball over the plate. We'll see if they let Camacho off run 3-0.
Case Nickel just going along swimmingly in this ballgame. And now finally staked to a lead, but the pitch is a strike at the knees, and it's 3-1. Final regular season game of the year, as we noted, Hart playing Valencia, West Ranch crossing their fingers, hoping Valencia gets the win and West Ranch will get a share of the Foothill League title. but they have to win this game against Golden Valley. As the pitch, ball 4, RBI Jovan, number 15 on the year. Moreover, runner will score and make it 3-0. And they're not out of the woods yet.
No, far from it when you got
Stefanos right now.
Yeah, Stefanos is an imposing figure, a very confident guy in the field and at the plate. And, he's got to love the situation. No pressure, really, when you think about it. Wildcats in a nice position, up 3 runs, bases loaded. He's going to look for a pitch he can drive with the bases loaded.
And the first pitch to Christos Stefanos, known affectionately as Stows, it's down into the dirt, 1-0. One thing for sure, against the number 1 hitting team in the Foothill League, West Ranch, 316 cumulative team average. They cannot start off with 1-ball, 2-ball counts. They have to get ahead on the Wildcat hitters.
Already the Cats have sent 8 to the plate in this 5th inning. It's been a big frame for them.
Fafman from first base now is the pitcher and tries to aim that one as it ultimately is outside, and it's 1-1. Stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? A bunch of goose eggs up there on the scoreboard. And then finally, breaking through a 3 spot on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 5th, and the Cats up by 3. Fafman comes right back. Little off-speed pitch, and it's fouled away. Christos tried to time that one. Ended up fouling it away. It's 1-2.
That's the perfect description. You're trying to time the offerings of Fafman. Again, he's a lot of off-speed pitches. He doesn't throw the ball as hard as Cologne, although Cologne won't blow you away most of the time, but he did throw it a little bit harder than Fafman, who's just trying to hit his spots, looking to get a ground ball, looking to get a double play. He'll take the strikeout, though, if he can get it.
Amen for him, if he can. But Christos Stefanos, one thing that started off with his slow start in 2018 was the proclivity, the number of strikeouts that he didn't have last year. But he always was positive, always upbeat, always friendly, didn't let him affect him, and now he's suddenly swinging a hot bat. MVP-like, which is what he was in the Foothill last year. High chopper, and by the way, there are a number of outstanding performances in the Foothill last year. Christos' numbers did not stand out among anybody else, but I think just because of his countenance, his persona, I would liken it to Kirk Gibson's MVP with the Dodgers that year. What did he hit? 23 homers and had 90 RBIs, 290 average. They weren't MVP numbers, but everyone knew he led the Dodgers to the World Series. Christos led this team. As it's a hot shot down third baseman, the throw home. No, it's off the glove of the catcher, and scoring will be Will Chambers, the 4th run of the inning, 4-0 Wildcats.
So this time, Reitmeyer makes a terrific stop of the ball, has plenty of time, and errantly throws it to home plate. It's a self-destructive inning and game, really, for Golden Valley. But that one is really frustrating because off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a hit. Reitmeyer was able to stab it, make a terrific play, and for whatever reason, he rushed to throw to the plate when he didn't need to do that.
And when he did, another error in the inning for this Golden Valley team. 2 on the third baseman, Reitmeyer. At least according to my scoring here. How should I say, my amateur scoring. But no, it was pretty clear that time. Randy just explained it to you. All the time in the world, could have just waltzed it into home plate and said, offline throw. I don't know why.
Well, I get why. He was looking to get it to home and then to first and get a double play. That's why he rushed it. But again, the number one priority there is to get that lead runner.
Amen. You've got it. You've got to get that one first and foremost, so you have nothing. And now the bases are loaded once again, full of Wildcats, FOW. And it's 4-0 now here in the bottom of the 5th. Fafman comes right back. It's a curve inside. And the count 3-0, and I'm going to tell you, if you're a Golden Valley fan, you've been having to suffer with this all season long, and you're watching right now.
Well, the Kansas City Royals the other day had 10 runs in the first inning. Never looked back in a game against Detroit. So you might see that kind of inning, the way things are going, the way the Cats are hitting, and the way the Golden Valley team is fielding.
The way they fall apart is like the ceiling is falling in on this group of young men on this Golden Valley team.
Well, they got to be a little bit crestfallen. They played terrific for the most part for 4 innings. They got a wonderful pitching performance from Cologne, and they had a chance. They had a look at the game, and they've let it slip away.
This is a hot shot. This is going to center, and on the run, Dylan Dowsek makes the play, but here comes the runner to plate. Nick Perez to score a scoring fly ball. RBI for the G-Man. That's the 5th run of the inning. The Cats up 5-0.
Also on the plate, good base running from Jovan Camacho. going into third. And again, that's the aggressiveness on the base paths and how well schooled they are here at West Ranch. These cats know how to run the base paths.
And here's Evan Gallatley. By the way, he's the one that got it started with the single that he beat out, and they batted around in this inning. They've scored 5, runners at first and third, scoring fly ball a moment ago from the G-man, Garrett Monheim. And as Randy mentioned, scampering into third over there is Jovan Camacho. And there's 2 outs. Evan waiting at the plate. Here's the pitch. Gallatley, 286. And it's a strike, 0-1.
Well, Golden Valley has been charitable defensively. It's been about a 5-out inning the way they've played. And I think Faffman's actually done a pretty decent job. He's thrown the ball over the plate.
I'll tell you what really threw them off was, again, Evan Gallatley and Justin Bumgarner being hung up at third base, and they made that throw home, and Evan Gallatley really changed the big momentum in this ball game by rushing towards home plate. That slide, the plume of dust emanating from home plate, it really woke up the West Ranch offensive unit.
Well, you saw it coming over the last few innings. They were starting to hit Cologne a little bit harder. They were being more aggressive with the bat. They've been aggressive on the base paths all season long. It's an aggressive baseball team. That's their approach. It's just a matter of time the way they hit the ball.
Evan, as we said, the one along with J-Bum, now taking off for second, and he's going to steal second without a throw. Catcher's indifference, no doubt, that time for Cristo Stefanos at second. And Jovan still firmly ensconced at third base.
It is a stolen base, but you're right, in many respects it was catcher's indifference because Broadwater didn't want to toss it down to second, knowing that the runner from third can come flying down the base paths. That's Camacho, who has terrific speed.
So Evan waiting. Did he check that swing? They say he did not. Looked like he reached out for that one, but no break of the wrist. As a result, he run the count 3-2.
Well, you got to be strong to hold up like that, and Gallatley is strong. I mean, he held it just about when it looked like he was going to turn on the ball, but still had the strength to hold the bat and not go around.
Wait till they get a hold of him in Bumgarner in Lincoln, Nebraska, as he hits it into the hole, and it's through for a base hit. RBI, Evan Gallatley. Jovan will score. Here comes Stefanos. The throw not in time. 2-run single. Evan heads for second. He slides in. He's out at second. And much to the chagrin of the umpires here in the stands, the West Ranch parents and fans say, no way, Evan did make it, but he got a 2-run, 2 RBI single. And as a result, 7 big runs in the inning, and really I believe the spark plug of that inning was Evan Gallatley. Like I said, wait till they get a load of him and J-Bum in Lincoln, Nebraska. These guys are wild.
Well, a touchdown and a PAT for the Cats, a 7-run inning. Big 7 spot. It's going to be tough now for Golden Valley to overcome that. And that's what good baseball teams do. They capitalize when the opponent makes mistakes, and Golden Valley made some mistakes there, and West Ranch made them pay.
7-0 Wildcats as we head to the 6th. 2 RBIs by Evan Gallatley in the 5th inning and 2 hits. And we'll be right back. West Ranch, a 7 spot on the scoreboard, bottom of the 5th, up 7-0 over Golden Valley. More play-by-play. Here's Randy.
All right, thanks, Ronnie. And really the intrigue of the ball game now is, can Cade Nickel go the distance? Can he pitch a shutout? He's only allowed 2 hits through 5 innings. And now he's staked to a bulging 7-0 lead. Daszak looks at ball 1. Dillon struck out looking, his only plate appearance in the 3rd inning.
And Randy, we're coming up on the 1 hour, 30-minute mark of this swiftly moving affair this afternoon in Stevenson Ranch.
Well, the reason it's been quickly moving has been Nickel, who's thrown strikes, only pitched a gem. Really, one ball's been hit hard. The single by Reitmeyer was just a chopper that went through the middle. In fact, that was Pfaffman that had the chopper. Reitmeyer's the one that had the hard hit ball down the left field line. So he's really given up one sharply hit ball. That's skewed to the right side. Easy for Galatly. 1-1. Go to the top of the order, and here comes Cameron Pfaffman with one of those 2 hits today for the Grizzlies. Now the pitcher of Golden Valley. Boy, West Ranch looks good defensively today. You know, they make everything look easy, where it's been such a difficult chore for Golden Valley to field the baseball. The Cats have been brilliant defensively. Very smooth in the field.
I want to make sure we say hello to Cade Nichols' grandparents. They're loyal listeners. We're very proud of them being part of not only my Wildcats, but Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. I believe they're in Arizona right now, so I know it's awfully hot there. I hope they're enjoying it in a cool space, environ, and they're enjoying this broadcast and watching their grandson just mow them down. That's what he's been doing in 2018.
Yeah, he's been great. That's one of the few times that first pitch to Pfaffman where he overthrew it a little bit. Reaching back for something extra, threw it a little bit too hard. He didn't pitch there, he threw the ball. But for the most part, Nickel has been terrific today. Pfaffman, 1 for 2, and he'll back out.
We also want to say hi to Evan Galatly's dad. We didn't see him out there on the Senior Day celebration. His mom is here in attendance. So Bill Galatly, he's a pilot, been flying the route to London of late for United Airlines, so hope that he's enjoying it as well.
Get down to far at third, charges, throws to Bumgardner, and there's 2 away. I'll tell you this, Cade Nickel keeping the ball down, making these Grizzly hitters kill a lot of worms on that infield.
I know you asked me before the game about the connection with Bumgardner at first, and I know our fans out there, including his grandma, is always watching the game. I know his connection to the Giants pitcher, Madison Bumgardner.
Yeah, there was a receiver baseball player the last couple of years at San Pedro High School playing for the Pirates in the LA City section, who is the nephew of Matt Bumgardner. We might have the pitching change. It looks like Cade Nickel, his job is done. Made enough good pitches. He's going to come out of the ball game. He'll be replaced by Vinny Rojas, the right-hander. Rojas, 5'11", 165-pound senior. And on senior day, it's appropriate that Vinny will get in.
You're not kidding. And Vinny, one thing you always know and can tell from him when his stirrups are pulled up, his stockings, there I go. I'll have to watch what I say, his stirrups, that is, in tribute to the legendary baseball players of the past. But he's not doing it out there right now. He doesn't have his stirrups pulled up, but that's one way I was always able to identify Vinny out there. And, of course, he is one of the number of West Ranch pitchers have really stepped up. Again, when Burge and Callahan went down, they not only needed some new starters, but they needed guys in the subsidiary role to come through, and Vinny Rojas definitely has been that. We check his numbers, a 2-0 mark, a great 2.40 ERA, and 13 strikeouts and 6 walks in 12 innings of work.
And again, as a senior, it's an opportunity for him to pitch on senior day. Cade Nickel's job and his books are done for the day. 5 2/3 innings work. Goose eggs. He's going to lower that ERA, which was terrific anyway. He did allow but 2 hits. And he leaves with nobody on base, and he stands to win it. Looking for his 7th win of the year.
And that would tie him for number 1 in the league, Randy, as well as the 4 strikeouts. He's in the middle of the pack in that category. But one after another, he has been a true blessing to the West Ranch team. And I know Mr. Nickel is always on hand and working in our cat team, making sure everything's okay with our PA and our scoreboard. But, of course, his grandparents awfully proud, and they should be. Another stellar performance from Cade Nickel.
And he's but a junior, so he's going to learn from this year's experience, build on it, and come back and be one of the top hurlers, one would think, in the Foothill League.
Alex Burge, who went down with the injury, who's now back, the number 1 starter, he's a senior. He's going to Loyola Marymount. So, yeah, Cade Nickel at this point right now, they got a lot of summer baseball to play. We'll be gearing up to be the #1 star next year. They also have a young man named J.D. Callahan, who you met before the game, and he has a 1.4 ERA, third in the league, and he went down for the entire season. So next year looks very bright for West Ranch.
Rojas, 2 quick strikes. He's ahead on Chandler Smith. Chandler's 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field and had a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning when he moved Fafman into scoring position. The hitters Broadwater and Castaneda unable to pick him up.
I could only think that they would pull Cade Nickel because he was near some type of CIF pitch count.
There's only two thoughts. The pitch count, and they wanted to get him out of the game, or they wanted to give Vinny an opportunity on senior day to pitch at home as a senior. But I think you're probably right. It's probably.
And I think you're right too. There's probably a little bit of both in there. Vinny Rojas heading down the road near Pomona. He's going to play University of Laverne.
The Leopards of Laverne.
That's right. A Wildcat becomes a leopard,
and he throws the fastball. He blows away Chandler Smith.
That was sweet heat that time, Randy Rosenbloom. It shows what he can do off the bench. And in front of the home fans on senior day, you're absolutely right. Vinny Rojas gets the K.
So his 1/3 of an inning is a very impressive strikeout of Chandler Smith. And after 5.5, it looks great for the Cats. They lead 7-0 over Golden Valley. This is Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel.
Sure glad you're with us.
Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-0 for your Cats. It'll be Bumgardner. Then we're going to have a pinch hitter for Ryan Farr. It's going to be a very familiar name in these parts. And a very good player. And Max Kogan is in the on-deck circle as Bumgardner looks at a strike.
And as we noted, everyone knows Jay Bum will be joining Evan Gallatley and Lincoln at Nebraska Wesleyan, but I think people need to tell Evan Gallatley, who loves those outdoor sports, snowboarding, there's no snowboarding opportunities in Lincoln, Nebraska, I'll tell you that.
We have our third pitcher of the ball game for Golden Valley, the much-traveled Daniel Goodwin.
We know Danny, he was at first.
Yeah, he came to play first base, now he's throwing the ball.
They love to move the first baseman over to the pitching man.
That one's down, another ball. Bumgardner hitting 8th in the lineups, had a very productive day, a single and a double. So he's bidding for a perfect game. Justin Bumgardner.
He would have had an RBI if it wasn't one of those jackrabbits that bounced over the fence and right for a ground rule double.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Bumgardner. Started the day at 348, has raised that average. with the base knocks in his first 2 plate appearances. Strikes out here on an off-speed pitch. Good throw from Daniel Goodwin. Here's Max Kogan, and you can give the bio on him.
Well,
he's much liked on this baseball team.
One of those guys that really, they say you can never go home again. Did not have a team because the Albert Einstein Academy played NC2A Division VII baseball, closed its doors here in Santa Clarita, California. So Max came over, talked to Casey Burrell, and Casey had a spot for him. And so he was able to be part of the team and really one of those guys on the bench that everyone likes and can always add that little extra dose of optimism because it's a long season, 30 games in the spring and a lot of pressure, and someone like Kogan is really someone to have at the right time to really add a lot to the team, and that's what Max has done.
Well, it's a long season, but it's a fun season for West Ranch. They're about to pick up their 19th win of the year. They've only dropped 9. They'll improve to 11-4.
There was a down period, though. It was a few weeks ago at that, again, Boris tournament in Santa Ana, where they ended up losing all the games.
It's hit into foul territory, back out of play. Giving chase was Caruso, and coming back to the plate will be Max Kogan.
They played teams like Modern Day there and Murrieta Mesa and ended up going 0-4, and that brought him back to the second half of the Foothill League season, which was split in half for that mid-season tournament. And at a moment in time, all of a sudden they stopped hitting and they stopped producing against top-notch teams. So they came back and righted the ship, and so they've been able to ride a little bit of a roller coaster and still stay together as a team.
Been so close. 2 heartbreaking losses to the Hart baseball team, where they'd really be on top of the league.
But they also came from behind on a walk-off win against Hart.
Right. They played 3 great games. They played 3 great games against Hart.
They were. Hart respects West Ranch. It goes the other way as well.
This one's lifted in the air to center field. Easy play for Dasek, and there are 2 away.
And the great thing about Casey Burrell still has a little bit of Indian in his blood. He played over there for the Hart baseball team in the late 80s. Ultimately went on, of course, to play for USC. And Mike Gillespie, by the way, Mike retired as head coach of UC Irvine, and after the season's over, they're going to have a big banquet honoring him. And can you think of anyone except Rod Dato who has touched more people in college baseball than Mike Gillespie? So they're going to get together with the retiring UCI coach Gillespie again at the end of the season.
And they followed one another, obviously. Gillespie followed Dato at USC, so... You know, I did a game with Rod many years ago, Rod Data. We did a game for Prime Ticket together. It was a Long Beach State College game where they hosted UNLV.
Oh, boy.
Many years ago on Prime Ticket. It was fun to work with the coach. I think he won, 10 national titles?
He's the John Wooden of college baseball.
10.
And I had a wonderful time last year, and I have to say, along with you, Randy, my favorite partners in the broadcast booth, Jim Campanis Jr., we really gelled together last year on some live play sports broadcasts. Well, Jim was the All-American catcher before Casey Burrell at USC, and he did play for Rod Dato. Unfortunately, Casey's great regret, he played for Gillespie and not Rod Dato.
So here's the 4th pitcher, Ryan Reynolds, out on the hill, out on the bump for the Grizzlies, Matt Sorensen's team. He's a senior, so you know why this pitching change has been made. They want to give him an opportunity. This is going to be their final game of the year. This is probably the final inning where a pitcher will perform for them here in the 6th inning. They don't figure to get 7 runs and extend the game in the next inning. So this is it. So they bring the senior right-hander in. He has the same name as the actor, Ryan Reynolds. And they like his act is maybe finish off the inning, do some positive things, and get the Grizzlies back in the dugout.
Somewhat of a different physique, though, than the actor.
Well, he's 5'9" and 135 pounds,
he is
dripping
something.
Wet.
Yeah, that's a good one. And no doubt, Randy's got it spot on. I would agree with you, giving him a chance here in what is the final game of the year. So teams do move on, 32 teams, and arguably the toughest. Again, high school division in America, the Southern Section, Division 1. And 32 are going to move on, and guess who's on that committee to decide where they're going? Casey Burrell is on that committee. They make up their mind on Monday who plays where.
Well, one Ryan's going to replace another. Ryan Camacho is going to be taken out in favor of Ryan Perez, another senior.
Right.
But what you want here, you want Perez to extend it because on deck is Will Chambers, and we're all thinking about the potentiality of him hitting his 10th of the year. But on the first pitch, Perez hits it right up the chute. Calling it shortstop is Martinez, and he puts it away. So a relatively easy inning for Golden Valley. We go to the 7th inning. Ronnie Wald will take you home on another big Wildcat day, and through 6, it's the Cats by 7-0. You're watching Wildcat Baseball on the West Ranch Baseball Channel.
Hoorah!
Well, we're about to finish up Senior Day here at West Ranch Wildcat Stadium. And to take you the rest of the way here in the top of the 7th inning, the voice of the Cats, Ronnie Wald.
Thank you, Randy Rosenbloom, and it's 7-0 Wildcats. So you got to feel good if you're a West Ranch fan at this juncture of the ball game. We do not have the score coming out of Hart or Valencia. We'd love to get it. We know it's over there on iScore.com. But nonetheless, West Ranch in the driver's seat right now as the offerings a strike to one Matt Broadwater. Last chance for the Grizzlies in the 7th. Broadwater, Castaneda, Reitmeyer, and David Montalban on the hill. David's just been, again, superb through the 2018 campaign. He's another one of the seniors. Almost a check swing on the part of the big right-handed hitter Broadwater, who's popped out in the 1st, grounded out in the 4th.
I love how both coaches have been able to insert their seniors in the last couple innings because it's about the kids and it's about what these players, these seniors have meant to the programs. This is the final game for Golden Valley, and it's the final home appearance for the Wildcats, and both coaches very knowledgeable, very giving of the senior players, giving them that last opportunity to shine on Senior Day.
Hot shot, though, to right, over the head of the left fielder Garrett Monheim, and this one will bounce over the left field barrier for a ground rule double for the young man, another senior, Matt Broadwater, and you can hear the Golden Valley fans haven't had a lot to cheer about this year, but that one, a leadoff double here for Broadwater in the 7th.
Yeah, that was the hardest hit ball by any of the Golden Valley Grizzly hitters today, and well, he nearly knocked it out of the yard, and it's not easy to hit it out of here to left field, and he's able to get it out in one bounce. So very nice stroke there by Matt, the catcher, Matt Broadwater of the Grizzlies. And they've lost 10 straight. I know it's been a bitter season. They're going to go out with their 11th loss in a row unless something crazy happens here in the 7th, but they do want to go out swinging.
All right, the hitter at the plate, number 5, stepping in there, Andrew Castaneda, who himself 0 for 2 this afternoon, and Montalban's offering down low and outside 1-0. Nobody out. Top of 7th, as we noted, last chance for the Grizzlies in the 7th, and they start off with a leadoff double from their starting catcher, Matt Broadwater. Nice job so far for this young man, Montalban. And it's going to be a fly ball to right, taking it the right fielder. As you said, they've got a brand new right fielder, Ryan Camacho, out of the ball game. Makes the grab in right for out number 1. So a fly out from Castaneda. And we've got Logan Reitmeyer stepping into the batter's box.
That's a good job, too, by Broadwater at second, not challenging the arm, trying to get into third base. You're down 7 runs. You don't want to get daring on the base paths. And we're going to probably have another change here. I think another West Ranch player is going to come in. Again, it's senior day, and they just want to give them all an opportunity.
If they're pulling and bringing the hook on Montavon, he's got a 2-0 mark and a 2.15 ERA. I got that in, and you're exactly right, Randy. And it looks like it's going to be Brendan Fisher.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's about an opportunity for the right-handed Fisher, the senior, to get his last opportunity to pitch at home. And again, this is great coaching. This is great work by the coaching staff to give them all an opportunity. It also helps that they have a 7-run lead.
No doubt. But it also helps the esprit de corps, so to speak, of West Ranch. And as they head into the playoffs, this feeling of unanimity, teamwork, all together now. But Brendan Fisher, who we've enjoyed watching for the last couple of years, is really got the heart of the lion. He really battles out there. You're not going to get velocity from Brendan. What you're going to get is a high baseball IQ and the ability to completely befuddle opposing hitters.
And make no mistake about it, even though he's coming in a reserve role, Fisher wants to shut out Golden Valley. He knows he's got to get 2 outs to get the shutout. Does have the runner in scoring position, so he's got his work cut out for him. But he's coming in there with a purpose. He knows the team's in great shape. It's been a great year. He knows they're going to the playoffs. But he wants to get 2 outs and really make it a joyous occasion and finishing it off with a shutout.
No doubt. As a result, he has no record. He's had 12 innings worked this spring, 9 strikeouts, no walks. Okay, that's how dependable one Brendan Fisher has been. Now listen to this ERA. Minuscule, 1.17. Lowest on the team. So out there right now, I can't say the hard-throwing right-hander. He can come up with a fastball at times as a showcase pitch, but what he does is mixes pitches effectively, and he's all about location.
Well, you can say it. It just may not be true, but you can say it.
I've watched him now for a couple of years, and it's just been in awe of his ability to, again, strike out or make, again, potent hitters look very much weak and ineffective at the plate. He works the corners very effectively. Let's see how he handles things right now. With a runner at second, we've got ourselves 1 out. And here he is, first pitch, swinging a fly ball to left, G-Man or Jovan. And it ends up going to be Camacho in left center. 4, out number 2. And now Golden Valley, Randy, down to their last out.
Yeah, this was a game of opposites attracting. West Ranch came in with an 18-9 record. Golden Valley, the opposite 9-18. West Ranch, a beautiful 10-4 league record, 0-14 for Golden Valley. West Ranch has beaten this team 22 times straight. They're about to get 23. They've dominated the series. Oh, you go all the way back over the years. It's truly one-sided, 27-4. And they've dominated the series, but it was opposites attracting. One team playing great baseball, another team struggling to finish off their year.
So again, fans will have to check Max Preps or the Ice Go to find out what exactly happened with Hart and Valencia, and if West Ranch come up to the back door and somehow snuck in, started the week 2 games behind Hart, hoping that Valencia will again be their guardian angel and somehow dispatch the Hart team and get West Ranch a piece of the Foothill League title. But again, no matter what happens, West Ranch, thanks to the victory last week Friday against Valencia, already has secured the playoff spot.
Yeah, they'll go in as the number 2 seed no matter what, even if they're co-champs, because they dropped the 2 out of 3 to Hart, so Hart has the tiebreaker. But all in all, it's been a great season again for Casey's club, and they're closing in on another Foothill League victory and another W over the Grizzlies.
And what a pitch that time. And, of course, another befuddled hitter at the plate, perplexed Colin Woodard. Where did that pitch come from? I mean, you're not talking about showing up on the highway patrol, again, radar gun, but he places it beautifully. But that one, unfortunately, hard hit line drive to left, bounding off the arm of the G-Man. Runner comes to the plate, throw late, and in the inning, they end up scoring. Big Matt Broadwater off the single. That time from Logan Reitmeyer gets the RBI, and now they finally broke through, Randy, and broke the ice, and it took them to the 7th inning, and the score is 7-1.
That's a good job of hitting by Woodard. Just hit that off-speed delivery, and he timed it perfectly. Hit it crisply into left field to score that first run, and that'll make the ride back home for Golden Valley taste a little bit better. You never want to get bageled.
Brett McMahon stepping in there right now, who's the pinch hitter. Young man, a junior, 6 foot, 165 pounder. The last chance here for Golden Valley in this, the 7th inning. Ronnie Wald along with Randy Rosenbloom, live from, again, the West Ranch High School campus, Stevenson Ranch, California. Here's the first pitch. High chopper fouled away. Trying to grab it there, Coach Sorensen will find out, again, what his future is like for this Golden Valley team. Everything is shipshape with West Ranch. Casey Burrell in his 16th year. 12 of varsity baseball.
You talk about dominance over a team. You know, the 3 games, the West Ranch team, the Cats have outscored Golden Valley 31-6 in the 3 games. So they've fielded well, they've pitched it well, and obviously with 31 runs in 3 games, they've really hit the ball well against Golden Valley pitching.
And a 10-1 victory Friday over rival Valencia. So put those 3 together, and it's a lot of firepower. 1-1, 2 out. And by the way, Casey Burrell, along with the 12 years here of varsity ball, 4 years at Saugus. A little nubber, this should do it, but goes through the legs. Unfortunately, a Fisher picked up by Stefanos. The throw is late. How did it squirt through Fisher in the first place? Get the glove down, but almost like Bill Buckner there in the Bo Sox World Series against the Mets. So he has a little bit of wiggle room, wouldn't you say, up by 6 runs. And now he'll have to contend with number 23, Bryant Colon, the starting pitcher in this ballgame for Golden Valley.
It's funny how that final out is always the most difficult one to get on a senior day. And thinking about celebrating with your teammates, and somehow that got onto the glove of Fisher. Still rule it an infield single. That baseball sometimes will take that crazy hop.
That's right. So Colon waiting with the open stance at the plate and the bat going back and forth like a windshield wiper. And the hot shot inside third and down the line. Here comes a run to score. Garrett Monheim's trying to pick it up down there in foul territory. Finally does, and it ends up being a double that time for Brian Colon. He drives in 1, 2 over in the inning, 7-2 Wildcats.
Well, again, you like the fact that Golden Valley, knowing they've had a terrible season, they've lost 10 in a row, they're down 7-0 entering the frame, they're down to their last out. And like I said earlier, you want to go out swinging. You want to show some pride. And the young boys for this Golden Valley team have shown some pride here in the 7th inning, and that's all you can ask.
Daszak, the number 9 hitter, is 0 for 2, one of the 4 strikeout victims for Cade Nickel. Fisher rocks and deals away with an off-speed pitch that's outside. Notice how shallow they are in the outfield, particularly right field. So they don't have the respect for Daszak that he will end up planting one and going yard. Right now, Grizzlies at 2nd and 3rd. 2 down, 2 over. 7-2 West Ranch. Fastball. Off the plate. It's 2-0.
Well, the one thing, if you're Fisher, you want to throw strikes here. You don't want to walk anyone. You're down on the count 2-0. The one way Golden Valley get back in the game is some more base runners. You know, right now you're thinking get a couple more hits, maybe get that tying run to the plate. But if you're Fisher, you want to throw strikes and make them earn the base.
Fisher rocks and fires away. The pitch this time inside
and low.
3-0.
Again, Fisher's fighting it a little bit, and if you're Daszak, you're going to take at least 1 here and probably 2. He needs to get on board any way he can.
And the top of the order in the person of Cameron Pfaffman on deck. 3-0, 2 down in the 7th. Cats now up by 5 runs. The pitch is over for a strike. So nice job on the part of Fisher to stand tall and put it right down the middle there.
Well, if you're Dylan Daszak, you need to take another one. Okay, no reason to swing at it. Your job is to get aboard. And if you're Fisher on the bump, you want to just throw a strike because you know he's probably not swinging.
Here it comes. Fly ball lifted to left. It looks playable. G-Man under it, and he grabs it for out number 3. The Cats get the victory. The 2018 Foothill season is in the books with West Ranch 7-2 victory this afternoon over Golden Valley. We'll have final line score, winning and losing pitchers after this, again on the West Ranch Baseball Channel. Wrapping it up, West Ranch improves overall to their 19th win of the year, 19-9, and 11-4 in the Foothill League, waiting for that score from the Heart. Again, well, now it says 10-4. No, West Ranch is 11-4. Yeah, I got that right. Waiting for the score from and the conclusion of the Heart Valencia game. And if Heart gets beaten by the Vikings, well, we've got that tie for first and a share of the title. And now you've got the final line score in this one for the Cats to beat Golden Valley.
Yeah, the winner was Cade Nickel. He pitched 5 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Only allowed 2 hits. Cade was terrific. He's 7-2 overall. Cats had 7 runs on 10 hits. So again, double-figure hits for Casey's baseball team. 2 runs, just 5 hits for Golden Valley. I like how Golden Valley went down swinging the bat in the 7th inning. Thought maybe Dazek would take another pitch before he offered on a 3-1 ball that he skied to Monheim out and left. But other than that, I like the approach in the 7th inning from Golden Valley. The better team won. West Ranch outscoring Golden Valley this season 31-7 in the 3 games. What you like about it, all the seniors really got in, had an opportunity to play. So they're going to come in with the unity, the chemistry that you talked about, because these guys who are backups contribute. They practice every day. They try. They do a nice job. So a lot of those seniors got on the field and performed today. Relatively easy win, although there was some moments early in the ball game when Cologne was pitching well that held Golden Valley in there for a while. But the better team won, and the good news is West Ranch will go into the Division I playoffs with some momentum.
And by the way, this game, even though blowout 7-2, if you came in late, you missed what had happened, what transpired. Goose eggs for the first 5 innings until the deluge of runs came through. 7 full runs at the bottom of the 5th that made the difference. That was all the scoring in this ball game. Remember, West Ranch scored in every inning but 1 at Golden Valley. In this ball game, they only scored in 1, and that's the 5th inning. And as a result, get the 7-2 win. Again, it was Nickel, Rojas, Montalban, and Fisher. As Randy noted, Cade is now 7-2, and for Golden Valley, Cologne, Feifman, Goodwin, and Reynolds and Cologne gets the loss in a ball game that I would just make my guesstimate went 2 hours. I checked that 1 hour and 50 minutes. So pretty swift affair, Randy Rosenbloom.
Well, the first 4.5 innings took less than an hour, so it was really flying by with all the action. And the 7-run 5th inning for the Cats that extended the game to nearly 2 hours. But again, West Ranch flexing their muscles, getting that big frame in the 5th inning to put things on ice in the 5th inning.
And in the Will Chambers watch, still stuck on 9 home runs, and Randy will have to wait until a week from Friday for the playoffs to see if Will Chambers at least will extend beyond the regular season into the postseason to try to get that record.
Well, the numbers count. By the way, the most in Southern California is Charlie Roca at Verdugo Hills, playing for the Dons. Really good baseball play. He's got 13 on the year. He was the first in Southern California to get to 10 double digits, and Chambers is very close now at 9. When you play enough games, Will Chambers gets enough swings, enough opportunities. You never know. He could hit a lot of homers in the playoffs. And again, you know, the coaching staffs in the tournament are going to know about Will Chambers, but not like the league season where everybody knows you really well and they pitch around you and they know that they want Chambers to beat you. They may challenge Will a little bit in the playoffs. You know that Will is certainly capable of delivering on the big stage.
Well, you said it right. Charlie Roca, with his 13 home runs to lead California out of Verdugo Hills, has 114 plate appearances. Will Chambers, with his 9 homers, only 90. So that does make a difference. But I don't want to take anything away from Roca. And also the guy on his heels, Nathan Pang, 12 homers in second place in California, 98 plate appearances. So nonetheless, don't want to wear you out with numbers, but we do want to give you a program note. We're back on a week from Friday, that week from tomorrow, well, first round of the, again, CIF Southern Section playoffs. Where we're headed, we don't know. Just check out the West Ranch, again, website coming up Monday. Casey Burrell is on the committee, and he'll be able to straighten everything out with, again, the CIF coaching fraternity and decide where we're going. We know one thing. If Hart loses today, we have a share of the Foothill League title, as Randy noted. However, no matter what, since they ended up losing 2 of 3 to Hart this year, West Ranch will have the number 2 seed, and that invariably means, Randy, they're going on the road.
Yeah, but you can't worry about things like that. Certainly you'd rather play at home than on the road, but the fact is you have a chance. You're in the tournament. your chance is as good as anyone else. It's just one and done, as we all know. So you play one game at the proverbial at a time, and if they win that game, who knows? They might come back here, but you're just thinking about that one game in front of you.
Randy Rosenbloom, thanks for checking in. Our guest broadcaster, a great job, and we really enjoyed your, again, salient insight and your great play-by-play. I know of all the great sports you've done, and the Olympics for NBC, and the basketball for Fresno State. I mean, you've done everything. Baseball may be, again, one of the other sports you do, but you do it very well.
Well, thank you very much. I've had a lot of fun over the years. It's been a good career. I've enjoyed doing it all these different decades. It was fun to come out and watch West Ranch play and watch Casey's team perform. And again, I'm impressed with their defense. Again, there's that old axiom that defense wins championships. And the fact you go into a tournament, and if they don't commit errors and don't beat themselves, they'll give themselves a chance in every game. And that's all you can ask in the tournament.
Right on. So we'll talk to you again a week from Friday for the, again, CIF playoffs. Wherever we're headed, we'll be broadcasting it here on Wildcats and the West Ranch Baseball Channel. The Cats win their 23rd straight against Golden Valley, dating back to 2011, with a 7-2 victory thanks to Cade Nickel, and the West Ranch Bats came alive, 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th. For all of us here, including Randy Rosenbloom, I'm Ronnie Wald. Until a week from Friday, so long for now.